Assalamualaikum everyone, welcome to my first Made for YouTube video. This time around, saya nak buat a sliding door between our mudroom dan laundry room. The catch is though, saya nak buat a sliding door tanpa nampak any visible tracks. So watch till the end to see my step-by-step process. This project ambil masa 5 minggu on and off, and I'm happy to say part 1 is done. What's left for part 2 is the installation of the louvers untuk the top part of the sliding door. So, welcome to day 1. The main supplies untuk the door dah sampai, semua saya beli dekat Shopee sahaja. The sliding door hardware yang saya beli tu boleh support sampai 80 kg sahaja. Oleh itu, saya opt untuk pakai kayu pine supaya the sliding door tu tak berat sangat. The size of this sliding door will be big. Lebar dia saja dalam 4 kaki, which is the maximum width compatible dengan the hardware, and the height of the sliding door will be close to 9.5 feet tall when finished. One thing yang saya kena cakap siap-siap is that the hardware yang saya beli tu lain daripada the one dalam the gambar on the seller's listing. Manual dia pun lain dengan the parts yang saya dapat. Jadi, saya terpaksa figure out how to install it all on my own sebab bila request manual yang betul dari the seller tak bagi pun. Disebabkan ada satu je seller yang jual hardware sliding door jenis Phantom or Invincible ni, I had to just make it work. So, on day 1, saya figure out where each part will go and how the hardware works. Once saya dah confident sikit that the hardware will actually work, baru saya start the work on the door. This is my first time doing anything like this, and I can safely say that this was my most challenging project to this day. Banyak kena test dulu and see if my theories will actually work. So, the plan is untuk pakai kayu pine yang lebar 80mm untuk the outer parts of the sliding door, dan the internal frame saya akan pakai kayu pine lebar 45mm pula. Both of them are the same thickness iaitu 15mm. This way boleh jimat cost dan minimize the weight. Akan ada sections on the door yang tebal sikit untuk letak the door handle and the sliding door hardware. So, not only will it house the hardware, tapi dia akan add juga to the overall structural integrity dan add more detailing to the door. So, untuk areas yang saya kena tebalkan, saya apitkan kayu pine yang lebar 80mm dengan 2 pieces of kayu pine yang 45mm. First step, saya apply wood glue, lepas tu just clamp everything down. Kayu ni pun saya dah sand down siap-siap. The wood glue yang saya pakai tu bonds in 30 minutes. Lepas dah bond, saya pakai nail gun to finish it off. So now we're on day 2. Saya dah nak start building the internal framing of the door. The easiest construction method that I could think of is to use dowels. Jadi, saya dah mark siap-siap dekat the vertical pieces of the kayu dan saya pakai a drill press untuk buat all the holes. Kalau nak buat 1-2 je lubang, boleh lagi pakai a drill. Tapi for this project, saya perlu buat berpuluh-puluh lubang. Jadi, the drill press is the best tool sebab senang nak control the depth of the hole dan lubang tu pun boleh dikatakan akan dijamin 90 degrees and tak sengit. This drill press pun dah umur 6 tahun tapi it's still going strong and it's not so expensive. For us, it's really worth it to have this drill press sebab kita orang pun buat banyak range of DIY projects. Once that was done, saya potong pula all the horizontal pieces. This part cepat je since saya pakai miter saw. Now, kami akan drill the holes untuk all the dowels in the horizontal pieces. For this part, memang saya bersyukur kita orang ada the workbench and the drill press. Cepat je dah settle all 24 dowel holes. Basically, saya mark the center and line up the drill press and drill through. Tak dalam mana pun, dalam 2 ke 3 cm macam tu je. Lepas tu, kena sand down all the wood before assembly. And this is how it's going to work. Kita insert je a dowel in one of the holes on the vertical part of the frame. Jadi sekarang kita dah boleh attach the horizontal part of the frame on here. And it will work the same for the middle vertical kayu, cuma for the middle ones akan ada a horizontal kayu on each side. And this is the dry fit and the end of day 2. On day 3, saya akan securekan all of the parts pakai wood glue sahaja. Letak sikit dalam the hole and on the surface of the kayu yang akan bertembung with the other part. Lepas tu, saya pakai a corner clamp dan off camera lepas dah clamp down, saya check juga dengan a square ruler to make sure it was as straight as possible. Lepas tu, saya biar overnight for the glue to set. On day 4, saya pasang the left and right most of the vertical pieces. And for this, kena pakai all of our extra long clamps sebab somehow the kayu ada warping sikit. Jadi we needed the extra force so that the kayu melekat rapat. On day 5, saya buat pula the top beam part of the door. As usual, saya apit the 80mm kayu pine dengan 2 pieces of the 45mm pine. This piece will be at this part of the door. Lepas tu, saya pasang the bottom rollers dekat bawah the sliding door. This one simple je, saya pasang dulu the rollers dekat a piece of 80mm white pine. Make sure the wheels betul-betul center. Masa saya pasang the left and right vertical pieces, saya dah dry fit everything to make sure that the height was right. And that the kayu dekat belah kiri and kanan tu tak melebihi the metal part of these rollers. This is important so that the kayu tu nanti tak akan scratch the floors. If pasang betul, only the wheels sahaja yang patut bersentuh dengan the floors. FYI, this is the railing untuk the bottom guide that's supposed to go in between the wheels. Kami end up tak pasang this railing and saya akan explain more about this later in the video. On day 6, saya nak pasang the actual track of the sliding door onto the door. Make sure the track and kayu tu straight. Lepas tu screw in the track pakai the screws yang dapat dalam the kit. Saya pasang the track onto an 80mm pine piece. Memang just nice dengan the height of the track. If korang notice the silver or grey part of the track tu, the track ada dua. One on the left and one on the right. Those part yang akan stop the sliders and that part adjustable depending on the actual width of your doors. Saya punya ni, saya set at maximum width possible sebab pintu saya ni max width. After that, saya pasang another 80mm white pine wood dekat bawah the pieces yang kita assemble tadi. Here, korang boleh nampak yang the bottom part of the track flush dengan the edge of the door. This bottom piece ni akan hide the track and also add rigidity to this part of the sliding door. After that, saya pasang all the loose framing parts pakai wood glue dan clamp down sampai the glue dah set. Lepas tu, saya tembak all the pieces pakai the nail gun. I don't know why, tapi on this project memang tak ada satu pun footage of us using the old nail gun or the new one that we got. But, both work great with the pine. So now, kami akan cut the last pieces of the pine wood to size. This one's untuk alik bawah the sliding door to hide the bottom rollers. This part, saya akan pasang after painting the first coat. Here, korang boleh nampak our table saw setup. The table saw is hooked up to our vacuum to minimize the dust. On day 7, saya start the painting process. For the first coat ni, saya pakai a matte black wood and metal paint yang saya beli dekat a local hardware store. My honest review about this paint is that if korang boleh pakai a foam roller, it is the best for an even coat. For this project, saya kena pakai brush because of all of the nooks and crannies. And because of that, jadi tak berapa even sangat. And bila ada any thick application, dia jadi shiny sikit. I find this true for almost all matte black wood or metal paint that I've tried. Kalau korang nak a matte black finishing yang only needs one coat tapi perlu a top coat yang makes it scratch resistant and easy to clean, stay tuned. I'll share more in the video. So this is the space yang kita orang akan pasang the sliding door. Cara kami install the phantom sliding door hardware ni tak conventional since one, the wall lagi kecil dari the door. Jadi the roller yang kena install dekat the wall ni terpaksa keluar sikit macam ni supaya the door boleh tutup all the way to the other side of the wall. Second, kami tak pakai the bottom guide since kami tak cukup clearance sebab the door ada dalam 1cm clearance sahaja. And the floor guide is much taller than that. Untuk a proper way and the best application of this hardware, boleh check out the video I've shared in my description. And all this happened on day 8. Kami pasang terus the door onto the wall rollers so that the next part of the door belt senang sikit for me. Basically, just center the track dengan the wall roller, lift up and make sure the top part of the track to go over the wall rollers. Sebab once it does, and when kita put down the door will now be able to slide smoothly. But at this point, kami notice that the door berlanggar dengan the wall bila kami open and close the door. This part sahaja ambil masa 4 hari untuk kami slowly troubleshoot. What fixed it was by moving the track keluar sikit. Why the door tak boleh nak slide properly before was because of our floor skirting. So now since the track dah move forward, the door dah no longer bergeser dengan the wall. Jadi sekarang, instead of the bottom track tu flush dengan the edge of the door, the bottom track tu terkeluar sikit daripada the door. On day 12, saya nak fill up the door dengan Perspex or acrylic sheets. This one saya beli dari art store sahaja, so it was a bit on the expensive side. This one yang 2mm thick, saya beli 6 pieces yang size A1 and it will fill up the 4x7 feet area of our sliding door. Sebab apa saya opt for Perspex is because dia lightweight and the fact yang saya boleh potong everything to size by myself. Kena ada this plastic cutter sahaja. Instructions ada dekat belakang the packaging macam mana nak potong the Perspex. Saya tanda the size of each panel. Lepas tu, pakai the cutter dan score the plastic. Buat 4 ke 5 kali. Lagi tajam and lagi kuat kita score, the less passes it needs. For my first try, saya tak score enough, jadi dia tak break cleanly. Bila work with Perspex ni, better to get the first cut right, sebab kalau kita nak take off small bits tu, dia jadi leceh and tak kemas. So, for my consecutive cut, saya make sure yang saya score enough times yang bila kita nak snap tu, dia effortless. If kita kena paksa, keep on scoring at least 1 to 2 times. But before saya boleh pasang the Perspex, saya kena buat the internal frames first since the frames tu yang akan hold the Perspex in place. For the internal frame, saya pakai a 10mm by 10mm pine pula. This ones tak perlu sand down first sebab dah memang smooth. And to speed up this process, saya pakai spray paint flat black dari Mr. DIY since this way lagi cepat for both application and drying time. Once dried, saya pasang the bottom and the top pieces first. Saya pakai leftover 10mm pine wood ni as pieces supaya the frame tu semua insert sama dalam. Dan saya secure the pieces into place dengan super glue. Once all 4 pieces of the internal frames are in, saya lekatkan a foam double-sided tape dekat belakang the frame pula. Now, boleh remove the backing of the double-sided tape and the backing of the Perspex dan boleh slide the Perspex into place carefully. Press to secure the Perspex onto the internal frame. This is what it looks like alit belakang the door for now with the Perspex sides still exposed. Saya repeat this process for all the panels and this part sahaja ambil masa 3 hari to do. On day 15, saya nak pasang the fluted or reeded film pula onto the Perspex. Saya prepare a solution of soapy water dalam a spray bottle. Next, saya remove the backing from the Perspex. Lepas tu, saya cut the film to size. Remove the film and spray the Perspex dengan the soapy solution. Saya tekapkan the smooth side of the film onto the Perspex. Lepas tu pakai the scraper untuk remove all bubbles gently. Tak boleh ganas sangat in this process sebab boleh damage the film. Basically, saya repeat these steps for all the panels. But on day 16, bila saya bangun pagi tu, I woke up to bad news. Some of the film tercabut from the Perspex. That day, saya try reapply balik semua and they still tercabut at the end of the day. Jadi, on day 17, saya try guna some super glue at the corners to hold it up, tapi the end result tak cukup kemas for me. Sebab dah frust, I give it a rest for the day. On day 18, saya try pakai some leftover Perspex and place it dekat belakang, effectively sandwiching the film between 2 Perspex sheets and it looked nice. Jadi, saya pun kena pergi cari more Perspex. This time around, saya beli Perspex yang 1mm thick only dan kami remove the door from the wall roller so that it's easier for me to finish it. On day 19, saya cut all the 1mm Perspex to size dan cut and painted all of the internal frames dan repeat balik the same process macam saya buat for the front part of the sliding door. This time around, it took me only 2 days to complete. On day 21, saya repainted the sliding door frame all over again sebab the finishing of the matte black paint that I used to tak rata and ada some parts matte and some parts shiny. This time around, saya pakai a matte black polycrylic pula. The only downside with the polycrylic is that it's not water resistant. Jadi, saya apply a layer of wax on top. So now it is water and scratch resistant. The wax pun buat the hood feel soft like butter and easier to clean and maintain in the long run. Just make sure that the polycrylic tu fully dried before applying the wax. On day 23, once both sides of the door are painted, sealed and fully dried, saya akan apply a black sealant in between the main door frame and the internal frame supaya dah tak ada any gaps and light leaks between the pine wood pieces. Now allow the sealant to fully cure. Now on day 24, we are installing the door back onto the wall roller. Again, just center the track onto the roller, lift up the door a little bit and slide it over. And that's it. So finally, on day 25, saya akan pasang the door handles. Saya beli a barn door handle set, both sides different design dan dia datang sekali dengan the bolts. Saya measure the center point first dan pakai a drill with a drill bit yang besar sikit dari the bolts. Drill all the way through, and the best bit bila pakai kayu pine sebab dia soft wood, tak perlu too much effort to do these things. Saya drill through the side of the door yang akan get the bar type of handle sebab kalau the kayu splintered dekat belakang time drill, the flat handle boleh cover. If the kayu splintered dekat the bar side of the handle, susah sikit nak cover and most probably kena pakai wood filler and repaint. To make the second hole, saya pakai the flat plate of the door handle as the reference. Senang sebab dia flat and memang dah ada lubang. Saya mark and drill through. And of course, the installation tak pernah nak straightforward when I realised the bolts provided in the kit is too long for my door. Since the handles ni akan dipasang on the part of the door that's only 15mm thick and biasanya pintu jauh lagi tebal dari tu. Nasib baik saya memang ada a shorter bolt yang muat, jadi for now saya akan replace with these ones first. To install the barn door handle, kena pasang the flat plate first and baru insert the bolts through the holes. Now dah boleh screw the bolts into the bar part of the barn door handle on the other side. Fully tighten the bolts and repeat for the second one. And all done! 25 days of work spread across 5 weeks and finally, our sliding door is fully functioning. Alhamdulillah, it was hard work and it's far from perfect, but I can proudly say that it's done. At the top bit of this sliding door, saya akan pasang louvers, but I'm not sure when I'll tackle that bit, so stay tuned. For all the links of all of my supplies, including a helpful video of the right way to install the Phantom sliding door hardware, just check out my description down below. If you found this video helpful, please click like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching everyone. Till next time.